Let's go. Love. Now I want to tell you how it feels to be someone who never had a story told. Alright, who doesn't love free music? And that's why I have Audacity here on my computer, and I have a guitar in my closet, and I sometimes have music in my head. So I assembled a CD, which is probably my favorite one I ever did get. And I put it on andrewuniverse.proboards.com, and I did it all for free for everyone there to listen. And the CD is called What Pedophiles Eat. And it goes back to a show I watched in ninth grade with Chris Hansen. And they would have this little girl, or maybe a boy, who would supposedly talk to these creepy old guys. And it would be Chris Hansen behind the computer screen. And it would get to chatting with them, and they would become quite close with each other over online. And the older creepy dude would become more comfortable with the young the young one, and the young Chris Hansen in disguise would ask, "Hey, why don't you show up to my place sometime? We can do whatever." And so they show up, and they go in and they see the dummy there, and they say, "Hey," to the dummy. They probably have a bag of goods or whatever, and they're like, "Yes, score," something like that when they first walk in. But then they're sitting there on that chair, and they're probably shy and nervous as it is, because that's just a human quality. And the lights, all these cameras are shining on them, and said, "Okay, what did you think you were doing here? Why don't you have a seat right there?" And this is the Chris Hansen seat right here. And they would say, what are you doing? They would be scolded and mocked and everything, and they're sitting there. And of course, you can't get your brain to think in that moment. You're just being used as an example. After Chris Hansen invited you into his house, he made a fool of you. And the lights see this dumb idiot who isn't educated, is just a creepy old guy or something. And then the cameras go off. And after he gets through that shit, I'm going to be on Dateline kind of feeling, they take him down to the station and he's able to talk. And if he would have a story to tell, he would say, "Yeah, for all of my adult life, the sexual energy that I would be getting would be mocked, and uh, it would wear on my health to the point where I finally met this very special person online in disguise, and I made the bravest decision I ever could with the opportunities I was given in life, and out out in the fireworks with a big bang." So there are situations. It's not unique. You go look back through all the ancient cultures and whatnot. People didn't quite live through modern medicine to ages where they could be so creepy. Uh, but no one really made that big of a deal out of it. So the song, title track for What Pedophiles Eat, is what I would say if I'm on the chair. So you can't, the pre-situation, you can't help. This is, you're just meeting now where you're on the chair. Let's say you're 55, there's this girl or boy, actually, let's say they're twins, a mixed bag of 10-year-olds. One will pump testosterone, one will pump estrogen, and you just pump. I hope you keep around. And you're sitting there for that moment, and that's when you're in the light, and there's an infinite universe around you. Don't get to thinking that the American rules, the way you were conditioned, the language you were brought up in, is in any way unique. Because no matter who you are, what your situation, someday you might get served what the pedophiles eat. Situations where people are just dumb, they're just stupid, and it takes people who think a lot and people who are inspired to actually search these things out. If you're really into a divine message, you're just going to keep going, just going to keep going, and you're going to find somewhere along the line that something is broken. And then the whole way throughout, you see that the whole monetary system, the economy, just everything is made up, made up, made up, and it's all because of dumb people. Um, I could just as easily be a dumb people. I could just as easily get what the pedophiles eat. So you show up at these twin male female 10-year-old's house, and you're like, we're gonna play Yahtzee or something, and Chris Hansen shows up, and I'm like, not Dateline again. Oh, so you're sitting there on that chair, and that moment, what makes a person, and that's what the song explores, what pedophiles eat. In the infinite universe, there you are in that situation. And I want to tell you how it feels to be someone who never had a story told. How does it look to the lights when the lights are shining on you? And we're not supposed to be smart enough as a society to solve our problems, but we do need to have compassion for people who are made to look like bad guys who really didn't do anything. Well, that I guess it's not really right to do, if I'm going to use that concept. But it's a cause and effect system. The way people think is the way they're going to get their crimes to fall out, like that. And the whole CD is songs I wrote through cancer, and I've always had compassion for the least of the people. That would be what I would think about in each situation. So To Catch a Predator and Chris Hansen really wore on me at the time. And over this past year, it came back again, especially. And writing this song actually ended a season for me of how I felt like that. And as the song came to me, it seemed to be written. It had its personality. I just had to translate it into words. And the CD is on andrewuniverse.proboards.com, or you can take the direct link to I Like. All songs are free MP3, 11 songs from the constellation of cancer, and you're on the hot seat. You're on Chris Hansen's hot seat. And what do you say? I want to tell you how it feels to be someone who never had a story told.